It's the way that you can paint with light. And I don't really mean painting in terms of using a paintbrush, but just how you can make something so beautiful with the help of having natural light is just something so rare and beautiful, and it's magical when you see it. It stirs emotions in you. Most of the time they're positive, but even when they're not, like, it could be contemplation, it could be, just so many different things. And I've always loved it, always. Everywhere I go, I look for it. This is window number 3 from St. James Episcopal Church, and it's the Epiphany. That's the story that it tells. They're all stories from the Bible, and it's a memorial to Eliza Frances Arnberg, and you can see her name is in the ventilator part of the window, which is just behind you there. They always dedicated these church windows to people who have passed, or prominent members of the church. So each one has its own little story behind it. The lead has deteriorated, and it's causing the window to sag and bow. That's why the church brought me in, because they want to restore the glass with all new lead, and that way the window will last for another 80 years or so. So what I've done is I've taken apart the whole window, washed every piece, and just got all the dirt off of it, and then started the window anew with all new lead, and it'll be stronger, and it will be supported, and it will no longer be sagging and bowing.
These are the downstairs windows, right?
Yes.
And how many of them are there?
7.
How many have you done?
3. This is number 3.
Did you find anything kind of unpredictable in doing them, or was it all pretty much according to the way you expected?
Yeah, no, I did find some unpredictable things. When you think about how they did things way back when, in 1929, maybe they started in 1928, and it took them a while to fabricate this. If you look at the window more closely, you'll see really interesting nuances, if you will. Like, for example, it's painted on both sides of the glass, only on certain pieces, like here and here. And also that star at the top is really significant, because they had to put the glass in acid in order for the color to be removed. That's a very distinct process that is still used even today. But it's just nice to think that they were able to achieve all of that so long ago. It's like the glass is your canvas, and how you put it together can move a lot of people, especially in a church setting. That's why these windows are special to me, and I want them to last for as long as possible, even after we are all gone, for generations and generations to come.
Where is this from?
This is handmade glass from Germany, and what makes it so special is the color variation in it, and also the striations and the textures that you see in the glass. They're unique and special because they've been doing this the same way for over 800 years by hand. So whenever the opportunity presents itself, I always try to order this glass, because it's miles and miles beyond what anybody could do with machine-made glass. Red is especially extraordinary, but I have other colors too. Another neat thing about this too is if you order one sheet of glass, you could get many different color variations all on the same piece. And so if you plan your stained glass strategically, you can get many colors just from one particular sheet. So this is like the creme de la creme of glass. We're at St. James on the south side of the church, and we just put one window in and we're taking one window out. This window's a little bit more, how should I say, temperamental because it's the most severely bowed. So they're being extra careful about how they take it out so that we don't crack any of the glass. And so it might take a little bit more effort than usual.
Yeah, because we're going to tape it to it to hold it in place.
Okay.
It's 30 by 64 and 3/4. This one right over here. This was the Epiphany, and now it's back installed where it should be. And this one was just restored as of 9:00 p.m. last night. And they just installed the window back in the church.
How do you feel about it?
I feel great. I feel like we restored a piece of history. And it's back where it belongs for all the parishioners to see. Because it's carrying on the tradition of the church. It's been this way since the early 1900s. This is just one of the most fabulous jobs I've ever had, and it means a lot to me, and everybody here has just been so wonderfully kind to me, and they appreciate what I'm doing, and I just feel lucky to have this opportunity, and really, it's a joy for me to be working on such a treasure. If you need hands, I'll be glad to help.
Thank you. Yeah. Good? Okay.
The pieces are jutting in and out, kind of like in an S curve, if you will. And so that's the part that's the most severely damaged on this window, and that's why we need to restore it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So we don't lose
Even if it separates, the tape will hold everything, keep it from breaking.
the original, plan for the window.
We'll be back in about an hour.
But at least it won't fall on the ground in pieces.
Yeah.
But it's separating about a third of the way up. It's like in half.
I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. Okay. Kind of push on the middle of the top, about 6 inches down. Yeah. Work your way down.
So are you guys breathing now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a moment of stress, but it's over now.
So why is this the hardest part?
It's just tricky to decipher how it should be leaded correctly because of all the small pieces that are involved. And plus, this is the area where it was the most bowed and, out of square. This is the garden where Jesus went to pray before the crucifixion. So right now I'm working on the part where it shows the actual garden scene. So all of these little pieces are leaves and flowers, and they're tricky just because they're petite and very curvy. So it may take me some extra time in this area, as opposed to where we're at the big pieces. That's a lot easier. When the window comes to me, the first thing I do is examine it, and then I'll put a sheet of paper over the whole window before it's even dismantled. And that sheet of paper I use to make a rubbing of the window. This paper becomes really valuable because it's telling the whole story of what I need to do to make it new. It's just the tools you need to build the window, which is a hammer and a knife. And then we have some special German nails, and then some lead blockers which protect the glass while you're putting the window together. These are lead nippers. It's kind of like a living, breathing organism until you're totally done. There's no way my hands could hold everything at all times. Sometimes you have to step away. And every time you step away from your window, you want kind of like a fortress of nails around it so it can't move, and you won't lose the work that you've done already. It was truly extraordinary. The craftsmanship and the skill with which they used to paint is something that you don't see very often anymore. And even though people can master the technique, I don't know, there's something about that time where it seems like all the windows were extraordinarily more beautiful. It just goes to show you that advanced technology doesn't always breed better materials. I want to find my art teacher from when I was 15 and say, thank you so much for inspiring me, and look at what I wound up doing with my life. I really feel that they did a wonderful job on these windows, and I'm just the facilitator at this moment.